today's topic is very simple. It's an introduction to English poem. It is geared towards students from mainland China, from Chinese backgrounds, who would have a lot of preset ideas about what poems should be. You have to drop those preset ideas and you have to come to look at English poems from a brand new point of view. And then we'll start to talk about the speakers of poem, which I used in my discussion and I didn't explain it. Speakers of poem, situation, language, forms, sound of poems. And you have to read a lot of poems to appreciate all these different aspects of poem. All right. And so when we read poems, our expectation usually is that poems, especially poem students from Chinese background, then will expect poems to be like Tang Shi. If it's not anything close to Tang Shi, then it's not a poem. But that's not the case with the English poems. Now we realize the English poems could be anything because creativity is more important. Therefore, creativity is also more important than being pleasant. Okay, a lot of poems, Tang Dynasty poems, of course, there are poems that are sad. For example, Du Fu's poems, probably some of them are sad poems. For example, 国破山河在，城春草木深，感时花溅泪，恨别鸟惊心. So it is not pleasant, it is sad. But a lot of the Tang Dynasty poems, when we read them, they are pleasant. You feel good afterwards. You don't feel sad, you don't feel depressed, you don't feel pain. However, the English poem, for English poem, no feeling is off limit. You could go and probe into the deep depths of your heart and find out and discover and share whatever your feeling is. So here we are, we have one poem, and it is by Dorothy Parker, another of my favorite poets. And the name of the poem is Resume. And it says, razors pain you, rivers are damp, acids stain you, and drugs cause cramp. Guns aren't lawful, news give. Gas smells awful, you might as well live. So what does it mean? So isn't that the purpose of this lesson too? When you say that I'm reading poems, the first thing is you have to understand it, right? So this is a poem, here we are. So when I look at the poems, there are simple sentences. The name of the poem is Resume. Our resumes are usually a list of all the achievements that we have achieved, right? But this poem, although it's named Resume, but didn't talk about achievement. Does it talk about achievements? It says, razors pain you. Razors, very sharp knife, or knife, we use razors to shave, okay? Razors pain you, of course. Rivers are damp. Well, of course. Acids stain you, duh. And drugs cause cramp, yeah. Guns aren't lawful, nooses give. This give simply means break. Noose is a rope, you tie it into a nape. Saddam Hussein is dead by hanging with a noose. So noose give means sometimes it breaks, it doesn't achieve the effect of killing. Gas smells awful, we'll say, yeah. All of these are truth, right? Are they not? And then you say, you might as well live. The last sentence says, you might as well live. Then you will say, what does it mean? What does that have to do with resume? And suddenly it will dawn on you, say, wait a minute. This is a list of things the speaker has done in his or her life. He's tried all of those ways to kill herself, and her conclusion is, it's not worth it. You might as well live. So who's got the biggest authority to say whether you shouldn't kill yourself? It is a person who's killed herself so many times and finally realized it is the wrong thing to do. Isn't it a powerful poem? It's a very powerful poem written very compactly. All right.